Hey guys, Boris Losberg from BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Daily Technicals for 5/14/13. Dollar rally no more. The critical question is dollar rally running out of gas as we start the week for trade? Trading foreign exchange on margin carries high level risk may not be suitable for investors, so I invite you to read this disclaimer very carefully, understand all the risks associated with trading foreign exchange on margin, and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. All right, let's look at the euro. This is the daily chart, and you can see even as we open up our trade here, this is Asian session trade. Tokyo already lifted euro up above the 30 handle, even as Asia session basically starts to trade. And this 29.50, which has been a key support level that we've been looking at for the last several days, held again today, became essentially a value proposition zone for a lot of the buyers, and remains a relatively bullish posture. Now, doesn't mean anything, of course, over the long run because we could still dip back into the 29.50s if ZOO comes in weak today and we get further anticipation that maybe I just want to get this a little tighter. Anticipation that maybe deposit rates are going to get cut. But what's interesting from a technical point of view is that every time we came into this underneath this 29.50, it got bought very quickly. Even today, it got bought very quickly, and today we're really bursting out here in Asia in a nice upward session in Tokyo, taking out the 30 handle, which means that now 30.50 is in view. If we get positive ZOO, very reasonable for us to make 30.50. And if we can recover there, it sort of could really move its way all the way out to 130-100. So short covering rally against the dollar here in the euro clearly becoming evident. It's also becoming evident, I think, in the yen. This is an interesting look on the chart here. We had decent U.S. retail sales today that should have taken us up through the 102s. U.S. Yields were going up. The data was strong. It's all coming to the conclusion that, yes, maybe Fed eventually is going to start to take its pedal off the gas on QE, and yet we could not make the 2 again. We broke the 2 in Tokyo on an early Sunday open run, came off of it, tried to take it out in North America, and then came right back off it and sold it down. Now, as you can see, we're selling down right below the 101.50 level, which is the most immediate level of support here for the yen. But likely, if we drift down, it's going to drift all the way out to test the 101 level as the session progresses. So not so much a question, really, I think, of any fundamental change. It's simply a matter of too much too soon, correction, a little bit of profit taking by the longs, and the fact that we just could not lift it any further at these levels really gives us an opportunity here for the yen to come in. Now, where's the value buying zone? It's probably going to be obviously at this 150 first and foremost. That was the consolidation before we broke out for the second up leg, and of course the very, very large 100 level, which was former resistance, now becomes very strong deep support on the yen side. But generally, it's been a very distributive day for the dollar, and it looks like it's going to be a distributive night into the European session as we start trading. Cable also, I think, firming up a little bit, not as much as euro, taking out the 53. Cable actually today was notably weaker than everybody else. It broke down through the 53.50s in North America on nothing, on really no news, and came all the way down to the 52s. However, if you look out at the longer term charts, let me just go to the 4-hour charts. You can actually see this pretty well over here. You can see that cable really is coming into this 52.50 support zone, and likely at least to find some support. We may even find some support in front of it right over here. On the other hand, 54 definitely caps any kind of move, and cable does what it does best, which is a big squeeze up and then a nice big distribution right back to the accumulation point. So not unusual for cable to come right back up to the 250s, but overall still looks mildly bullish on the longer term chart, because let's just go to the 6-month chart. You can see it's sort of starting to make its way. It made its way back up to 56, kind of failed, but if it's making higher lows on a continuous basis, and that's going to be the critical thing here, this actually is going to be a very interesting test. If it can't hold these lows over here around 52.50, then it actually looks very negative and could distribute right back down to the 5100s and further. There's still talk. I mean, I think we had a big raft of surprise data out of UK for the last month that gave cable a nice big boost, but there's still a lot of talk about the fact that UK economic situation just simply not really recovering at all, and they're going to be able to have to focus on more reforms that they're just not willing to do, and probably peel off less austerity into the economy. So cable looks relatively vulnerable still at this point, and if it's vulnerable through the 50 250s on a relative basis, it also opens up, by the way, the other interesting thing is it opens up the euro pound trade back up to the 85s and through retest of the 86s as cable kind of recedes in strength. Euro picks up in strength on hope that that maybe the eurozone has finally turned the corner as far as contraction goes. Lastly, Aussie today. Not much on the data set, but we are bopping up off the 99.50 zone. Really horrid distribution in Aussie. I mean, it's just been a one-way market, which of course Aussie can do to the downside. I think what was it? It's like it looks like 1, 2. I think it is 1 to 8. 8 out of the last, no, excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. 8 out of the last 9 days, down days in Aussie. So very, very grossly oversold. 99.50 is pretty serious support zone here. The real support zone in Aussie, you have to go back here for about a year. You can actually see this. Not well here, but you can see it sort of right around here. That the support zone here is it's still 99s. The really, really strong support zone is in 98s. So there may be another 100 points, to the downside in Aussie, but it looks like it could have just a little bit of a dead cat bounce here. 100 caps the upside. 150 definitely caps the upside in the Aussie here for the time being. It's amazing how, despite the fact that it has the best yield in G12 universe, the unwind of that trade has just been vicious to the downside on a one-way trip. But also, everything basically looks like it's bouncing against the dollar. We have a pause up in the Aussie. We have a pause up in the euro. Euro kind of leading the way. We're already, look, another 15 points since I started talking. And the yen continues to decline a little bit to the downside as we take out the 101.43. Actually, let me just zero in on a 30. You can see that we just took out the day's lows here in the yen, showing that dollar strength is starting to wane as we open up the Tokyo session trade. So wishing you guys the best of luck and the best of trading tomorrow. And I will see you at BK. This is Boris Schlossberg, over and out.